Hey guys, and welcome to episode 4 of my Slayer series. So we are making some pretty good progress in this series. It's about one every 5 or 6 days, and that's how I wanted it originally. So we are making pretty good strides on this series, and I hope that continues. And I still have not gotten bored of Slayer yet. I still enjoy it so much, and I hope you guys are enjoying the series as well. But let's get started because, as you guys know, this series does take a long time to get through just one episode, so let's just get into it. But actually, before we go into the tasks, I do want to say one thing that came out on Monday. There are new Slayer tasks, and they're the boss tasks and the new mini-boss tasks for Airut. And for the boss tasks that you get at the death place or whatever, so, you know, you can get like Kelphi Queen or Kelphi King, that kind of stuff, those boss tasks. I will not be doing any of those for this series. I still will be doing them every day, just on my own time, for a separate video, and that it would be a loot video of sorts, and I will not include that Slayer experience, that money, or anything in this Slayer series. So I will be keeping track what is in that Slayer stuff, and I will not have it mixed with this Slayer tab, so just a disclaimer. And then for the 2 new tasks that I can get at Airut, the Glaciers and the Tormented Demons, I will be doing those if I get them. So I originally said I would not do boss tasks, but because Jagex doesn't really consider them a boss, and they really aren't a boss task, then I feel like I could do them for this series. And it does add some, variety to this series, because I know just straight up Slayer tasks might get boring for you guys. So yeah, if I get, like, you know, a Glacier task or a Tormented Demon task, I will do them for this series, and hopefully I get some boots or dragon limbs. But I don't know, let's see next episode if we get any. But as for this episode, let's go. So to kick off this episode, I started out with one of my favorite tasks, Ascension members, which I always do at Gladi, because, or Gladii, I don't really know how you'd say those, but I really like them because they're fast, and, you know, the experience isn't that great, but the charms are just OP. As for, like, you know, the Crimsons, but I mean, they're not OP, but they're just great. And I did actually get a key finally in my first Gladii task that I got a few episodes ago. I didn't get any keys, so it's kind of stupid, but this time I did get a key, and it was a Secundus, and that's one of the lower ones, but I don't mind. It's still a good drop to get. So task number 47, I did get Dark Beasts, and that's a new one for this series. I used to love that task because the experience was so good, but now, I mean, the experience is amazing now still, like 100 something K or whatever, I don't remember what it is, but it's pretty damn high. The money is just not good, that's why I don't really like this task, and it is kind of boring, but I got through it, and I really can't complain. The Slayer experience is just so good, so if I get more of these tasks, I won't care that much. I will be content with them. Alright, so the next task, I got Automatons, which I really love as well. I seem to get one every single episode now, and I had a relatively, like, medium amount, like 72, and I finished them in around 20 minutes, so I mean, the Slayer experience is, of course, really good here, as you can see. The money is just, it's okay. I mean, you have to get a glove to really, like, make good money here. I mean, the drops do add up after a while, but, like, they're okay. I mean, they're just not, like, spectacular or anything. Moving on, number 4 of this episode, number 49 total, I did do Ganodermic Beasts, and I really love that task, as you guys know. This entire episode so far, I'm getting really good tasks for Slayer experience, and not only Ganodermics are great experience, they are really good money too. Like 2, 3 mil, 4 mil an hour, depending on, like, your luck. And I believe this task, I got a few U seeds and a few magic seeds, so that was cool. I usually don't get them on these tasks, because you get, like, such a low amount of Ganodermics, but yeah, I really love these guys, and I hope I get more throughout the series. So task number 50 was another new task for this series, more variety, I guess. 163 Necreel, and I really like this task. Like, well, I guess I don't really like it, but I like it less than Abyssal Demons, but I love Abyssal Demons, but they are relatively slow. The money is decent because you get the ashes, and it is tedious, though, because you have to bank all the ashes, so that's the only reason I don't like them. But overall, I do like them in general. The only thing, though, is I know Jagex won't watch this video, but I'm just pleading with Jagex, make more Necreel spawns. There's like 5 per world, and it's not that much. And you look at Abyssal Demons, and they're a higher Slayer requirement, and there's like 30. So, I mean, it would be nice if Necreels had more creatures per world. It would make it a lot better, because the only, like, logical way... The only efficient way of killing Necreels is to be on a world where no one is there, and even then, you only have 5 to yourself, so it really isn't that efficient. So, I mean, hopefully like the Ninja team can add more neck reels, because it really is not that much. So after that string of really good tasks, I got one that I don't like. I got LRC. So I seem to get these all the time, and you guys know that, but really it's okay. It's okay. I got through it, and I'm starting to like enjoy them, because you know, once you do something so much, you start to like enjoy it for some reason. So that's kind of what happened with me in LRC tasks. I just go through them. I mean, they're not too bad. It's just I don't like getting them. But once I start doing them, they're not too bad to like actually get through. And then after that, I got another new task. So this episode is just full of new tasks for the series. I got warp tortoises, and I was initially not excited for that. Because I remember doing them and they were good money, I guess, but very boring. And then I did them and they really were boring. They were slow too, and it just wasn't that enjoyable, because I was fighting them in the beginning area right when you get in. But later I did find out I should go at the end of the dungeon. Even though it takes a while to get there, I prefer that spot for some reason. It's just more relaxing and it's less crowded. Okay, after the warp tortoises, I got dark beasts again. And this time I got a lot more dark beasts. I got like 40 more than the last task. So that was cool. It only took like another 5 minutes to do those extra like 35 or whatever. Yeah, it wasn't too bad. Maybe I was a little faster on dark beasts that task, but one good thing did happen during this task. I did get a Serenic scale, so that was pretty cool. It was my first Serenic scale this entire Slayer series. It took 53 tasks to even get one scale. That's kind of depressing, but I'm still hoping for that effigy too. I really want an effigy. For how much I've killed, I should get an effigy. It's just eluding me, man. But whatever. Moving on. And then on task number 54, something amazing happened. I got Airut, which is my favorite task, as you guys know. And I got one of the max amounts you can get. I got 148. So that's pretty much 2 below max of the Airut. And that means that it took around an hour. And usually the tasks take around 40 to 45 minutes, but because I had such a high amount, it did take like an hour. But I could have gotten it faster. I just, you know, I don't really do Slayer 100% efficiency all the time. And really nothing happened during the task other than I did get a scale, so that was fun. 2 scales in a row, like task-wise, so that was pretty cool. And now I'm at 2 scales, so yeah. So task number 55, I did get Desert Strike Worms. And those are also a new task for the series. So yeah, like we've gotten 4 or 5 new tasks for the series, and that is just plain beautiful, because it does give me like variety to like actually do the Slayer series. Because if I get, you know, Abbey Demons over and over for like 15 tasks, it's not going to be that fun. So it is nice to get some variety every now and then. And my first impression of the Desert Strike Worms is I did not like them. But after doing them for a while, I mean, they're not that bad. Like, I hate how you have to stomp on them to bring them out into the open so you can kill them. But other than that, I mean, the drops aren't that terrible. And the task is okay Slayer experience, like 72k an hour is what I got. So, I mean, that's not horrible. It's better than some tasks like, hint, hint, you know, LRC or, you know, Blue Dragons. But yeah, I think I'll probably enjoy them more if I do them more. But first impression, it wasn't that great. So the following task was Iron Dragons, and I love that task. I would just hope I could get more dragon tasks like Iron, Black, you know, Steel. I still haven't gotten any Black Dragons, so that's kind of weird. Same with Water Fiends. Those 2 tasks are just eluding me the entire series, but maybe next episode, you never know. I just like Iron Dragons because, you know, you get a decent amount of them. The Slayer experience isn't too bad per hour, and it's not that long of a task. It's like 15 minutes. But one thing did happen. I did get a dragon skirt, so that was cool too. So like this whole episode, I'm just getting, you know, rare drops, and I like it. So adds to the price check. And after getting a string of relatively good tasks, I did get LRC again. So, you know, usually I would like, you know, burst into tears metaphorically, but this time I didn't really mind. I was actually happy about it, because I am only 1 task after this one. Okay, after this one, I am 1 task away from getting 1000 LRC done, and that means I can have a loot video for you guys ready and ready to upload. But I mean, they are boring, and I might skip them and like put them on perm ban like once I finish the loot video, to be honest, because even if I start enjoying them, they're just such a long task that I don't really want to do them all the time, and I seem to get them all the time. So yeah. Another thing that happened that task that was kind of funny is I just started a stream when I had that task, and what happened was I had to leave the room for a few minutes and talk to my mom, so I came back and I died because I forgot to move away from the LRC. So I did die on AFK on stream, so everyone was watching me die, so it must have been a really good experience for everyone watching. So I came back to being dead, and that was actually kind of funny. So I guess I have to add that to the death counter, even though it wasn't really intentional, or it was just basically a giant mistake. But yeah, now I have 3 deaths in this series. That's kind of hilarious. And then after that, I got Desert Strike Worms again, this time 37 more than the previous one, so it was more average amount. So I don't really mind that task. I mean, it is kind of a long task, I guess, for that type of task, but I like it. I'm starting to like it more, so yeah. And because apparently Strike Worms love me this episode, I got Ice Strike Worms this time on the second to last task of the episode. And trust me, this is one of my favorite tasks because the Slayer experience is just amazing. And the money is really good as well, and I just love hitting the high hits, and overall I really enjoy this task. Even though it's roughly 35 minutes, 40 minutes per task, it is really fun, and I hope to get more throughout the series. And then to finish off episode 4, on task number 60, I got Warped Tortoises again, and at first I was really disappointed, but what I did was I tried the other area to fight them right at the end of the dungeon, and I felt it was a lot better. And during the entire thing, my friends were doing Arma, and they were getting really lucky, so it passed the time having them getting all these rare drops, and it was kind of funny. So I guess the task passed, like, time-wise pretty fast, but yeah, I mean, the money isn't too bad either. The warped tortoise shells, or I guess it's not warped tortoise shells, just tortoise shells, they do add up, like, after a while, and I'm at, like, 444 now, total killed. So, I mean, each task does do a lot of damage to the progress to get to the 1,000. That was a really weird phrase, but basically, a lot of these tasks, I'm working on a loot video as well, like, out of 1,000, so each task number I add to the thing, and then I write down the drops per thing. So I am working on like 20 loot videos. Yeah, so I like how the tasks give you like over 200 each task, so it means it'll be around 5 tasks to be done with the Warped Tortoise loot video. So yeah, I think that's enough talking about Slayer. I know these videos are just so long and talking, but I hope I am engaging enough, and I hope I entertained you throughout that entire thing. But let's go into the slides where I talk about my Slayer experience and stuff like that, and like, you know, the drops and whatever. I'll meet you guys there. So here is the stats page, and I didn't really change anything. I did just make the stats text a little bit smaller on the top left because of a mishap on the drops page, but you'll see that in a bit. But let's start off with the Ferocious Rings. I'm at 6 now, so I did get 2 this episode, so if you are curious about that count, that is the amount. And that was a great wrap. Hashtag 2 chains. But either way, the points are just adding up. 1,872 in 4 episodes, my bad. So that is a good amount per episode, to be honest. That's like 450, around there, maybe 460 something. So that is a good amount of Slayer points per episode. And of course, 3 deaths, so that's depressing. But again, I didn't skip any in this episode. Wait, no, I did skip a lot last episode if I remember correctly, but I didn't skip any in this episode. I got really good tasks, as you guys saw throughout the entire talkover. But as for the experience kind of aspect of the series, I'm at roughly 2 million HP, so I'm happy about that. And my strength experience just skyrocketed since last episode. Like, my strength and my range were equal at like 1.8 mil last episode, but like this episode I just did so much melee tasks, and I could mainly do them with magic and, you know, range if I wanted to, but the reason why I do melee more than I should is because I really want 120 strength out of the way, and you know, Slayer is like the best way to do it, so that's why I'm doing it. And I finally got over 1 million mage too. I was thinking I would do more mage throughout the series, but you know, a lot of my tasks I just don't want to mage, and a lot of the tasks you just don't mage in general, so yeah, that's why I did that. And my Slayer experience is catching up per hour rate to my hour rate, so like I am almost getting to the 1 to 100k ratio of the time and the Slayer experience. Hopefully I can hit that soon if I get more like Celestials and Dark Beasts and all these really high experience tasks. I could definitely do that. So this episode took around 8 hours, it looks like, to finish. So, you know, that's average, and that means every episode's roughly 8 hours. I mean, that's what I was thinking. So Slayer only, it's about 8 hours, and editing's around 5. So each episode's probably 12, 13 hours, so just wanted to let you guys know. But let's go into the drops tab thing. I over-talked on this thing, so yeah. So as for the drops, as you can see, there was like 2 big changes in this big thing. I mean, I guess there's more than 2, but I'm just going to consolidate. And I made the drops text on the top left a little bit smaller so I could fit that scale. And I also moved the effigy over and the ascension key over as well. But other than that, nothing really changed other than the key halves, and the ascension key did add 1. Another thing, I'm over 2,000 crimson charms, which is good as well. The blues are still trailing, but hopefully I can get more from like Glacier tasks and tormented demons. We'll just have to see. But I think we can go into the price check now. I'll meet you guys there. So guys, here is the first inventory of the Slayer tab, and before I price check it, just look over it. And another thing is, last episode, if you forgot, my full price check was 44.3 mil, if I remember correctly. I think I'm right on that one. So hopefully, I was thinking I could hit 60 mil this episode. That'd be really nice, and that means I would hit, you know, 15 mil per episode on average, and that would also mean 1 mil per task on average as well. And I probably will hit that because I did get some profitable tasks this time. Like, you know, LRC is like 700k per task, so it's pretty good. And then, like, you know, Airut and stuff like that is also very, very good. But yeah, I mean, everything is just growing pretty well. The uncuts are just abundant and crap like that. So let's just price check and see how much the first inventory is. So the first inventory is 26.3 mil. Let me write that down. And that is also a really good start to the tab already. I know that it's probably all the best items in the entire tab, but I mean, I still have a lot of good items left to price check. So let's move on to inventory 2. Alright, so here is inventory 2, and a lot of the items aren't worth that much, so it won't be that huge of a price check, but still adds some to the tab. So let's just price check. So that was actually more than I thought it would be, 6.5 mil, let's say, because I had some change on the other one. So yeah, 6.5. I actually thought that this was gonna be a lot lower than that, so I'm pretty happy about that. I don't know where it's mainly coming from. It looks like it's just a bunch of few 100k items, and oh wow, it's the mud runes. Look at that. The mud runes alone are 900k, and then the blood runes is a good 1.2 mil as well. So that's where it came from, it seems like. So let's go to the inventory 2. All right, moving on. Alrighty, here's inventory 3. So it is mainly the herbs, the seeds, and then also the 2 rare drops at the bottom, the Visage and the Abbey Orb. So that will add like about 2 mil total just from those 2 items. So this should be a decent price check. Let's see what it is. So this alone is 6.1 mil. I'm happy about that. Surprisingly, it's lower than the last one, but maybe just herbs aren't that much. So let's go to inventory 4, and I think this might be the last one, number 4. I might have to have number 5 because I did get a lot of like newish items this episode, but we'll see if I need an extra inventory after this. So here is the 4th inventory, and it does seem that I will have to do another inventory after this one just for like a few more items. So yeah, a lot of price checks in this episode. So this one is 14 mil, and that's a lot more than I thought it would be. Like I was just expecting maybe like 9 mil, but it seems like a lot of things just adds up in the long run. I mean, a lot of it's from like the palm tree seeds and the Gano flakes and stuff like that. These are like a lot of stackable items that do add up a lot. So that's pretty awesome. 14 mil. Let's go to the last price check, and it's just a few more items, so bear with me. Alright, so here is the last price check of the episode 4 Slayer series. So not many of these items are worth that much, so it'll probably be a few mil, probably like 2 mil, 2-3 mil. So let's just price check, and then I can add everything up, and then you can find out what this entire tab is worth finally. I know that these price checks are pretty tedious. I might just skip this entire price checking kind of thing, unless you guys want me to price check every episode. If not, I'll probably just price check every 2 or 3 episodes, but it does take a long time to do these things, and I know some people might not like these price checks, but some people like long videos, so I don't know. Just tell me in the comments if you do like these price checks every episode, or maybe tell me how I could shorten them or something. I don't really know. So let's finish this one up. So 2.3 mil, let me write that down, and I'll add everything up. So I added everything up, and it seems like my Slayer tab for episode 4 is now 55.2 mil. That means we are over 10% done with this series and on episode 4. So at this rate, it should take around 37, 38 episodes probably, unless, you know, the new Glacier tasks that I talked about earlier make a big difference. Like if I get a boot, I mean, that's you know, a few mil right there. So, and Glaciers in general just make really good money, and it does add more charms and stuff, but that's besides the point. 55.2 mil on episode 4. That is awesome. I didn't quite reach the 1 mil per task benchmark that I wanted, but I'm getting closer to that, and maybe next episode I can hit that, but you never know. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. It took forever to make, and I enjoyed making it nonetheless, but I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good day.